Hey, all you power-hungry people out there, not power-hungry like, Trump. No, we're talking about different power. Pedalboard power. And if that offended you, go away. We're talking about CIOKS again today, because we always talk about CIOKS, because for me, they are the pinnacle of power supplies. Are there other good power supplies out there? Yeah. Are there cheaper ones out there? I just tested the Palmer pedal board with built-in power. Much cheaper. Works, but it doesn't necessarily work for the more advanced jobs. Simple board, yeah. And there are many power supplies you can use for the more simple application. But if you need different voltages, you need overload protection, you need expandability, you need 660 milliamps per output, which actually will probably power 95% of the pedals on the market. CIOKS is the way to go. And they had all the big ones and the chocolate and, mega power supplies, but they broke the market, if you ask me, when they released the DC7. I've got a video on the DC7, but I'm going to quickly let you know what the deal is. This is a switching power supply, which means it's lighter. And that's all I can tell you. I don't know. Watch the videos with Paul on what that means. I have a Strymon Zoomer and a Strymon Ojai, and they're absolutely nice power supplies, don't get me wrong. They're bigger, they're also light, but they're a little bit bigger. They've got 500 milliamps per output, and on the Zoomer, there's two switchable ones to 12 and 18. Now, on this one, you can switch every single output, as you can see, to 9, 12, 15 and 18, and it tells you on the power supply how many milliamps you can get out of it. At 18, it's 330, at 15, it's 400, and so on and so on. There is overload protection. So right here, it's telling you if you have too much stuff on there. It'll even tell you on each individual output. Now, they're using these RCA connectors, which is CIOKS, and he actually has a video online where he talks about why. I mean, between us, I'm pretty sure he's doing that so he can sell his cables. But that's probably not what he's telling you. But I think it's a good idea. It's a good connection. Now, this thing is pretty damn light. And it's got 3 holes at the bottom. You can use one of these grips that you can buy to attach it to your standard kind of rail board, like a, what's it called? Pedal train, stuff like this. But obviously, the great thing with this is it's so damn small. You can put this on a board and put pedals on top of it, and it works. It does. There's no interference. You can put this under many boards. You can even put this under a fly rig. That's a fly rig with 7 times 660 milliamps. So this is the thing to get. Plugs in straight right there with the mains cable. There's no actual little power bricky laptop power supply thing. There isn't. Has a 5-volt USB out. And this is the one that's very interesting. See the round thing there? That's a 24-volt out. What for, you ask? Well, we're going to look at that right now. So let's say you have a pedal board, 6 outs. Of course, you can daisy chain certain pedals. But what if you need more? What if you need more? Actually, you have that up here on the pedal board. You have a huge pedal board and you need a little bit of power down here. Do you need to buy a whole nother DC7 and plug it into mains? No, you do not. The packaging on this stuff is just also so damn good. Oh, how can you get a big-ass sticker? CIOKS sticker, look at that. Get a sticker. And this is really great. The flex cable guide. So if you need other cables, polarity reversal, you can actually put 2 of these outputs together for more power, and different plugs, blah, 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 to snap onto a battery connector, center negative. The green one is, what is that? The green one is for Eventide stuff because it's got a 2.5 millimeter instead of the 2.1 millimeter. And it's center positive. So you need the green one for Eventide stuff because for some reason they have center positive. So this is in the box and that tells you what you need to order in terms of extra cables. Obviously, in the box are a bunch of cables. Okay. So with this one, look what comes with it. They literally have everything. They have the little screws so you can actually put it under your pedal board. Some daisy chainy cables. And this one comes with this little external power supply. Okay? So you can run this by itself. And it even comes, that's interesting, with a little bracket. How that's supposed to work, we'll find out. I don't know. We'll look at it. But the great thing is, this is the power supply. You're gonna say, well, that's kind of like a Strymon Ojai. Well, it could be, but it's actually smaller. So this has 4 outputs. Each, I will assume, with 660 milliamps. Yes. And again, 12, 15, and 18. It's got a USB-C input for 5 volt DC. It's got a USB-C input. Now it's getting interesting. I think I understand what's going on here. So, and then you can actually power this, and that's the great thing, with this cable. Well, not just with the cable. So you need the C4 cable. So you have this thing on your pedal board in a corner. You get this in long and short. This is very long, which is pretty cool. So for me, I have a DC7 on the table all the time. It's the power supply of my choice. But sometimes I need to power something over here, and then I need to get a different power supply. So all I would need now is this cable, DC4, bam, and I actually take it over on the table, somewhere else. I mean, look at, I can literally go anywhere on my table. This is really long. They make a shorter cable as well. And this becomes an extension of the DC7 without extra power. So you don't need the power supply if you're doing this. That's kick-ass. DC4, that's a great idea. So let's see what this is. I don't understand how that's supposed to... That makes a lot of sense now. So you can screw this to your pedal board with the threads and the screws, and you can also screw the adapter to your pedal board. They need a freaking picture in there so that it's, securely fastened. That makes a lot of sense, so this thing doesn't dangle around. Good thinking, CIOKS people. Okay? So if you don't use it with the DC7, that's a great thing to have. And it's actually included in the freaking box. Well done. Obviously, I can, daisy chain that to my DC7. So I'm going to, wait a second. Put all this stuff back in here. Packaging is so beautiful on this. So how much is a DC4? Because if you actually don't have a lot of pedals, but you need dependable, good power for them, that might be a good thing to buy by itself. Without the DC7. Let me see. The DC7 actually went down in price, $236. That's pretty much a bargain. The CIOKS 4, it's not a DC4, I'm sorry, it's the CIOKS 4, is $135. It's a good product. But for about $200, and now it gets crazy. Okay, follow me. Cables, green ones, this cable, which is important. Beautiful packaging. Sorry I say this, but it's true. DC8! That even has, get this, more outputs than the DC7. It's not a DC8. Why am I saying this? It's the CIOKS 8. Damn it! Okay, let's do this again. CIOKS 8! That even has more outputs than the DC7 because it's an 8. So, you cannot use this by itself unless you have another 24 volt output power supply. It doesn't have a little power supply with it in this case. For example, if you had the Strymon Zoomer. So again, the 4 you can use by itself because it comes with power. The Zoomer can power an Ojai. But it can also be expanded with the 8. And then, if I get this correctly, you can even, because there's an output, there's 2 of them actually, you can probably even put a 4 behind that. That's ridiculous. So if you have a Zoomer or a DC7, you could get the CIOKS 8 and get 8 more 660 milliamp outputs. That's utterly insane. Okay, so it's Zoomer compatible. It's clearly DC7 compatible. So this is 7 outputs, 8 outputs, which is already 15 outputs times 660. And if that's not enough and you want to power a little board that sometimes you have with you and sometimes you don't, all you got to do is have this running to the little board, and bam, you have the 4 on the little board. So that gives you 19 660 milliamp outputs. Flexible boards that you connect with these little cables, and all of a sudden they power each other and you have one mains cable. That's awesome. Okay, here's something I want to try, because the 4 has a USB-C input. And in the box from CIOKS, in the box that they sent me this thing, which of course you don't get because you have your own. And this looks like it's a power bank. They also sent me chocolate, which is really, really cool. And thank you, Paul, for sending that. But you don't get that when you buy a power supply from them. Only I get that. Na, 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 na. So I have a little power bank here, which hopefully is charged. It says 100. Now I'm curious. Now I'm really curious. Oh, there's a... Seriously? That USB thing lights up. Can you see that ring under the red? Oh, damn. It was lighting up. Now it doesn't do it anymore. So now the question is... Oh, it's lighting up. This is the Poly Bibo. Needs 500 milliamps. This is a power-sucking pedal. Can I actually power this with a little power bank and a CIOKS 4? Does this boot up now? Oh my god. That's booting up. That's freaking wow. That's probably the smallest solution you have with a power bank to go battery powered and dependably battery powered. That's the thing, because it looks fully booted up. Because all these power bank power supplies, they don't really work, and then you have digital pedals on them, they go eep! So this is really something to be tested. And of course you can put quite a bit bigger power bank on this, but look at this, you put these two together, that's a small setup. Holy crapola. I am impressed. If you ask me, you'd be stupid to get anything else. You'll see me make videos about other things and say, yeah, I'll recommend other power supplies because there's other good ones or maybe cheaper ones. But realistically, you'd be stupid if you didn't get this one. That's insane. I'm gonna have to make a thumbnail here. How do I do this? Don't break it, Henning. Thumbnail time. That should do it. Why are you part of this? I don't know. So let's go through a couple of the cables, which of course you can... So let's go through a couple of the cables, which of course you can just look up in your cable guide, which comes with your power supply. Here's a very short flex cable. Very short if you actually need a very short one. I don't think any company offers something that short. Yeah, that's short. That's what she said, I know. Here's a purple one. I don't know what that does. It looks like it's a smaller plug. Purple one. This is the link from the 24 to 24, which is a little bit longer, shorter than the other one. Here's the one to the 4, which is smaller on one side, so that's the red side. Here's another really long one to go from the DC7 to the 8, so you can actually have like the... How long is this? That doesn't even say how long this is. 160 centimeters, okay. Then that's a big ass pedal board. Here's a link cable. Oh, a really short link cable from the 7 to the 4, if you have it right next to it. And here's another really short cable, which is kind of cute. Really short link cable from the 7 to the 8. A little bit longer from the 7 to the 8. I got everything here. Parallel adapter flex will actually give you more than 660 milliamps. So you actually use 2 outputs to 1. Then we have, again, shorter, another parallel adapter. This is, what is this? DC link adapter. If you have a pedal that takes 24 volts, you can power it directly from the output of the 24 volt on the DC7 with this cable. That's pretty neat as well. And then we have a Flex Type 3. Oh, for HX effects and stomp and stuff, so you can power your Line 6 stuff with that. I think with all the cables and accessories, and expandability, and the amazing power and safety, because this thing will not break your stuff. It shows you when it's overloaded. It won't overheat. It's got overheating protection, all this stuff. And it's super lightweight. There's nothing on the market that beats frickin' CIOKS. That's what I'm trying to say. Long video for this. If you are into pedal boards and you need power, look at this stuff. Expand. You know, it's the CIOKS Lego system. Thanks, Paul, for sending this. I will install these now on my table. And we're going to put links below to everything. And you guys go have a good time with the animals at the end.